Hi, everyone. It's me, Miss Branch, the art teacher, here with first grade lesson 2, part 1. And what we're going to make are and learn about our lines. We're going to draw lines. We're going to make lines. We're going to cut lines. And we're going to make some lines. Now, ultimately, this is our end product. We're going to make a mobile. And a mobile is a type of sculpture, which is hanging art. And we get to make lines on our fish. Now, this is part of part 2. But what we're going to do today is make our fish so that they have the lines on their bodies so that we get to practice making lines and we get to practice cutting lines when we're folding the paper. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch my camera so that we can get started. All right, so you're going to need your wiggly eyes. You're going to need your glue, your scissors, your crayons, and your stack of paper. Now, we're not going to use all of this paper. You get to pick the colors. Now, I did one where I picked pink, yellow, and green. You get to pick 4 pieces of paper. But this one, it looks like I only picked, green. Oh, that's white. So you get to pick 4 different colors. And on the one, my example I showed you, I picked red and orange, purple, and blue. But you get to pick any colors that you want for your project. Now, Miss Branch, let's see, I did use green. What haven't I? I didn't use brown. Let's see what's another color I have not used. That's pink, green, and orange. That's purple. Well then I did use white. Okay, so I don't want to use black because it'll be hard to see my, well, maybe not. I could try black. I could use the white crayon and it might show up on the black. Okay, so I didn't use black. I didn't use brown. I did use red and orange and blue and purple. I used all the colors except for these 3. Well, these are actually neutral colors, these 2. And that's something we learn later, like in 2nd grade. You can learn it in 1st grade. Maybe I'll come up with a neutral color project for later. But let me think. Okay, so I'll just pick these 4. Yeah, that's good. All right, so I got brown and black, red and orange. And sometimes being an artist is the hardest part is choosing what color to use. What do you want to use? So now, to make the fish's body, we're gonna need 4 fish bodies. So we're gonna make a 1 out of each color. So what we need to do first is fold each one in half, each paper in half. And we're gonna cut the line. Oh, no. Sorry, Miss Branch folded it the wrong way. We're gonna fold it in half. Hot dog. I'm sorry. I was folded in half hamburger. And then I looked at my fish example. That's why it's always good to have your examples. Fold each one in half. Hot dog. So now my next one, fold in half. Hot dog. And hot dog is the long fold, not the short fold. I call that one hamburger. And then one last one, hot dog. And each one has a line. So my next step is to cut that line. All right, there we go. 1. 2. When I folded this one hamburger, I went a step ahead. 3 and 4. All right, so these 4 we're not going to need for this project. So you can put these in your scrap bag for your scrap paper that we can use for other projects later. All right, so now each one of these get folded in half, which I call hamburger fold, but because it's so skinny, it's not really looking like a hamburger, but it is a wide fold. So 1, I already folded this one. I forgot and folded the hamburger fold first. 2, 3, and 4. And I made some more straight lines. So now I'm going to cut those. 1 fish body. 2. 3. And 4. So now these, we're going to fold these in half again to cut because we're going to make our fins and we're going to make our fish heads and we're going to make our fish fins for our fish, of course. And so we got to fold each one of these in half because we need a half for each side for the tail and the fins. So I'm going to fold here 1, 2, I'm sliding on the where I fold so that I get a good crease so I know that I can have a good line to cut. 3 and 4. And so now I'm going to cut those lines. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Now I put them in 2 separate piles because one pile is going to be for the curving head and one pile is going to be to make the tails. And sometimes I'm gonna show you what happens because I folded the paper in half to make the tail the same on both sides. But I'm gonna show you what happens if you accidentally cut on the open side. You just have to glue 2 pieces instead of 1 piece. So let me go ahead and I'm going to cut off the corners. And if you remember from when we made project 1, when we made the animals out of the rainbow colors, we learned how to cut shapes by cutting corners, especially if we needed a curve shape. And then just nibble the corners to make a curve shape. And I'm gonna bring my camera in just a little closer so you guys can see that better. So I'm gonna cut off 1 corner, make it a pentagon, 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then cut another corner, make it a hexagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 sides. Then cut these corners to 3 and 4, but we're gonna leave. We're not cutting the bottom corners. That's where we're gonna glue it to our other piece of paper. So then I'm gonna cut this corner, pentagon, cut this corner, hexagon, nibble 1, 2, 3, 4. I call a nibble a little tiny cut. So that's 3. And then cut 1 corner and cut 2 corners. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have my semicircles, my half a circles for the heads. And now I'm going to make the tails. Now we're going to fold these in half. And it's easier if you cut on the folded side. Keep it folded and make sure you don't cut. But if you happen to cut on the open side, it's okay because you'll just glue 2 pieces down. And actually, I'm cutting this different than when I cut those. I think I folded those this way. And no, let's see, where's the fold line? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did fold it that way. So now I'm going to cut corner and corner and then nibble, 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 nibble. When I open it up, I have a fishtail, kind of. Well, it looks like a letter B, really. But what I did different is that I cut the corners right here so that it gets a fishtail shape. And then these little triangles become the fins that you get to glue on your fish. So there we go. And if you want, you can cut that, nibble that one after you cut the corners. So now I have a fishtail shape. But what I was saying that if you fold it and you cut corner and corner, and then nibble and nibble and nibble and nibble, but then you cut the folded side right here to make the diagonal cut, the triangle cut. You'll end up with 2 pieces of a fishtail, which all you have to do is just glue together when you glue them on your tail. So it doesn't matter. So it's okay if you accidentally cut the folded side. You will get, you will still have your pieces for your tail. So let's see, that's 2 tails. So then fold and cut and cut. My scissors are a little squeaky. And then cut a corner off, and you got the fishtail shape. That's 3. And again, fold in half, corner, corner, nibble, 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 and then cut a corner off. And then when you open up, you have your fish shape. All right. If you wanted more of a fish shape, you can always cut off more because you're the artist. You get to decide. So now we have our heads. I'm going to move these out the way because we're going to use those in a little bit. We have our tails and we have our bodies. Now you get to pick the crayons that you want to draw your lines with. Now, let's see. Oh, I like this green. I'm going to draw. Now, on your slides, there's a chart. Let me share my screen. All right, so let me share my screen. Now, just before you watch this video and you saw the video with the line song, it talked about the straight lines, the curved lines, the diagonal, wavy, zigzag. It didn't really talk about scallop because it goes wavy, curly, thin, fancy, free. And it showed dotted and dash and spiral lines. But it didn't really show scallop lines, but you can always use these lines on your fish. So if you need to, you can pause the video and go back and look at the lines when you're making the lines and then come back. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to start making my lines. Now this one I did the diagonal lines. I did diagonal lines right, left to right and right to left. And since I got my first one, I'm going to go ahead and do diagonal, diagonal. And I'm just going to make some diagonal lines on my paper. And now I'm going to do diagonal lines the other way. And there I have my diagonal lines. And I'm going to flip it to the other side. And I'm going to flip this fish to the other side. And you can see I did straight lines. I did vertical lines up and down. And I did horizontal lines side to side. So I'm going to do some vertical lines. And some horizontal lines. And now I have the body, one of my fish done because it has the lines on it. So I'm gonna put this one off to the side and I'm gonna take my next fish. Now this one I did do scallop lines. Now my next one, now you could stick with the same color crayon, but it's totally up to you if you want to change crayons. Ooh, this one looks interesting. Oh, let's see, that is violet red. All right, so let me make my scallop lines. It looks like you're jumping. And this one, when I first did the first two, it kind of looks like a number 3. And I'm jumping. Sometimes with scallop lines, you got to start in the middle and then go back and do one side. See, like right here, I'm going to start in the middle and then do another one to this one hump. And see, I don't have a whole hump here, so I'm just going to come off the edge of the paper. And then this side, I'm going to go off the edge of the paper. And so now this one I have 2 humps, so I can jump, jump, jump. Now jump off the paper. And this one I can have it jump off the paper. I'll start in the middle. And I can go back. And then this one I can start here. And here we go. And here we go. And I did my scallop lines. So now I guess I'll stick with the same crayon. Oh, this one I did the dotted and the dash line. Let me turn the fish around because I actually look like I flipped it. Okay, so there, I'm gonna flip it and I can do little dots. And I can do dashes. And I did some really tiny dots on this one. So that's like, sometimes you gotta hit it kind of hard just to make the point of your tool that you're using make a mark. See, like that one's too light. And let's see, can I see all of them on the screen? Yes. And so now I'm gonna make really thick ones. Thick dashes. And I'm gonna make big dots. Sometimes dots are big enough to color in. And I'm gonna make little tiny dashes. And some more dots. So now we have done, let's see, we did vertical and horizontal, 1, 2, and we did diagonals back and forth, but there's still diagonal, so that's 3 lines. Then we did scallop lines, that's 4 lines. Then we did dotted lines, 5, and we did dash, 6. So we still got some more lines we can do. Oh, this one's kind of dark paper, so I'm gonna get my white crayon for this one. And I've already used my white crayon in another project. That's actually I didn't do my coloring in order, so kind of like I used up all my crayon, but I can still use it because that's what a crayon's for. So I'm gonna move that one out the way. Ooh, spirals. Now to make a spiral, it's like making the number 6. Watch. I'm gonna make a number 6, but then in the middle, I'm gonna keep it going. And make a big number 6 and just keep going. Just make a number 6, keep going. Or you can make a number 9. You just keep going in until you run out of space. Now, some spirals you can start in the middle and work your way out, but it's a little trickier. So I like to start with the number 6 and work my way in. So I already know how big my spiral is going to be. Because like this space right here, I can start in the whole outside space and then I can fill it in. Then I have a little space right here. So then I make a little 6 and I don't run out of space. And like right here. All right. So now I did spiral lines. That's number 7. And now we have arched lines or curved lines. And you can make your curved lines. Ooh, I'm going to make it come from this corner. Hey, it looks like the Wi-Fi symbol. Ah. Now it's starting to look like a rainbow. I'm going to make some more curved lines come from this way. You can decide how you want your curved lines and which directions you want them to go. I even have enough space to put some more curved lines inside the curves. But that's totally up to you, how you want to make your curved lines on your curved paper. All right, so that's that one. So that's 1, 2. All right, so then we got one last one. And we have zigzag lines and wavy lines. So I'll do zigzag first. And you can do big zigzag, wide, or you do them really close together. It is totally up to you. And what color do I want to use on this red? Ooh, this blue looks interesting. All right. So let's see. Zigzag. Oh, I could do wide zigzags. I could do, yeah, I did wide, I did close. I'm gonna do really tiny ones. Cool. And I'll do some more big ones. I had a little more room. All right. So I did zigzag. Now on this side, I'll do wavy. And you can make big wavy lines, a really big wavy line, or really little wavy lines. It's totally up to you. You're the artist. You get to choose. You get to make it however you want to do it. All right. So now we have our lines. Now it's time to put our fish together. All right. So now we're going to mix them up. We don't want red fish, all red fish. So I'll just take these because these are on top. So I'm going to glue this here and this here. Now, with the glue, I hope you remember, the rule is not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And if we use the glue sticks in the last project, then we just put a little bit of the glue stick. I think we did. But with the glue, not a lot. You're going to make tiny dots. Tiny dots. And then you rub a little bit and it sticks. See? The less glue you use, the better it is, because when you use a lot of glue, it makes a puddle, and the puddle gets both pieces of paper really wet. And so I say, puddle, puddle, get in trouble, because the glue will not stick to it well. If you make a puddle of glue, it'll take a long time to dry. So I only have 2 dots this time. And again, rub a little bit and it sticks. Now I can take my crayon and I'm going to give it a smile. And before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and flip it this way and give it a smile. Because you see some of my fish, I forgot to check. So when I flip them over, the mouth, the body or the eyes are on the wrong side, or the mouth is upside down. And so now you get to use your eyes. And you get to choose whether you want to have big eyes or little eyes, but you're going to have an eye on both sides. So what I'm going to do now, outside this little eyes, I'm going to put a tiny dot. And I'm going to rub a little bit. And then I'm going to flip over and I'm going to find where that one is. I'm going to put a dot right where that one is. Again, a little tiny dot. And then I'm going to rub a little bit. And it sticks. See? Just a little bit of glue. And so now I have my first fish, and I'm going to let that one lay over here and dry. And so now my next one, oh, cool. It just happens to work out. I got the next 2 colors. Well, that's going to be really neat. Now, do I want to use blue again, or do I want to change colors? I'll use blue again. And this one, I'm going to give him a big smile. Oh, and you can put some lines on your fish's tail too. You know what I forgot? I forgot to go back to my scrap pile and get some fins. Let's see. Let me put some fins on this fish. I'll come back to this one in just a minute. All right. So let me go ahead and glue these parts down, and then I won't forget to get some fins from the pile of triangles when we were cutting our shape. So 1, 2, I'm gonna put 3, and rub a little bit. It's sticking already, so now I'm gonna have to pull it to make it fit. And then 1, 2. Ooh, those dots are kind of big. If you get big dots, you can always share a dot with another piece. And I know I'm gonna use this piece next. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that extra glue on this piece, and I can use them on the next one, and rub a little bit, and it fits. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my smile on that side and my lines before I forget. And I'm gonna do my eye. And let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to use all the big eyes because we have a project coming up later that you will use a big eye with. So rub a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little dot on this side. Find where you put that one on. So they're right across from each other. And rub a little bit. And before I forget, I'm going to get some triangles out of my scrap pile, and I can use those for fins. So I'm going to just put a fin here, and I'm going to put a little, not a lot, just a dot, and rub a little bit. And I'm going to flip on this side, and not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. Then rub a little bit, and it sticks. So I'm going to go back to this fish so I can put a fin on. Let's see. I'll use orange. These long, skinny orange ones. And again, not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit, and it sticks. And not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit, and it sticks. Oop. Okay, that one came off on that side. All right, so it kind of there was some glue on it, so it stuck to the table. All right, so now my next one in line is going to be this one. And I already have the glue that I shared here. So I'm going to go ahead and rub a little bit. And it sticks. Rub a little bit. And it sticks. And then again, 1, 2, 3 tiny dots. I kind of pulled away quicker, and that's how come they got a little long. But it's okay, because I'm going to rub that glue, rub a little bit, and it sticks. And let's see, and then I'll go ahead and put my fin on and rub a little bit, and it sticks. And I'm going to flip it. Not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit, and it sticks. Oh, some of my eyes fell out. Well, it's easier to pick up now. So now I have my eyes. Oh, let me draw the mouth. And, oh, almost too much. Rub a little bit, and it sticks. I'm going to draw some lines on my tail before I forget. And now I'm going to flip them this way. And the eye is right there, but I'm going to go ahead and draw the mouth and my lines on my tail. And again, find out where that eye is right here. And not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit. And it sticks. And my last one. All right. I have my body. And again, not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit. And it sticks. And not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit. And it sticks. And so now, my last 2 eyes, I'm going to go ahead and put those on. Now, the blue will show up on this, but not very good. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my white crayon. Or you could probably do a yellow. That might show up. Let's see if yellow will show up. Not that good. I'll stick with the white. But you can experiment and figure out which color works best for you. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And a smile. And then not a lot. Ooh, that's a little bit much. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take some of that glue and use my fin. Use it on one of my fins. And then I can rub a little bit. And it sticks. I dropped one of my eyes on the floor. I'm just going to get another one out the bag, and I'll get that one a little later. And then again, flip it to the other side. Do the lines on my tail. And let's see, which way's the mouth? The mouth is down here. So then the mouth. And then that's where the eye is. So now, not a lot. Just a dot. And I'm going to go ahead and put a dot here for my other fin. And then with my eye, rub a little bit. And it sticks. And with my fin, rub a little bit. And it sticks. And so now you have 4 line fish for part 1. So let me switch my cameras. All right. So that did take us a little while to get all our lines done and all our pieces cut to make the fish. So now for lesson 2, we're going to turn these fish into a mobile, which is a type of art. Hanging sculpture is moving art. All right, so I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.